It's really about taking that totally scrappy piece of land and turning it into your own little Eden. Here we are, it's a 25-acre draft horse-powered homestead, and we raise as much of our food as we can out here. And this whole experiment has provided the content for a book I recently wrote called The Woodland Homestead. It's all renewable energy powering this place. We've got big gardens, we raise livestock, build your own cabin in the woods. It's a pretty wild experience. Most people just see a bunch of trees that need to be cut down and gotten rid of, and what I see is really an ecosystem of opportunity. And the question becomes is how can you use this wood, how can you use this land to produce things of value, whether it's shelter or fence posts or lumber for building a cabin or firewood for keeping you warm in the winter or integrating trees and livestock. All of that is really what I address in the first chapter as I try to get people to think about what a woodland homestead is and can be. The people who really want a homestead include a wide cross-section of society. So it's everything from locavore mothers that are really interested in just feeding their family good quality, wholesome, homegrown food, to, at the other end of the spectrum, the whole prepper movement that is politically aligned and is really looking at bigger questions about society and social structure and all the rest. Part of the book release includes a tour of the entire United States. So I'll be going coast to coast talking about the Woodland Homestead. Really excited to share my story, and while the tour is just kicked off, one of the things that I found is that people from everywhere are saying, yeah, that's me. I've got this little piece of land and I want to do something with it, whether it's just put up a little bit of food or raise some animals or build their home with materials that came from that land. And so I'll be heading out to the West Coast here in a couple weeks and look forward to hearing from readers on the website at thewoodlandhomestead.com. I don't make my own shoes. I don't make my own shoes. I don't make my own clothes, although I have. So when I was looking at colleges, my father was actually a college professor, and he always told me, don't pick your job, don't pick your major, pick your lifestyle. And he says, then all the other pieces will fall into order. Here we are, it's a 25-acre draft horse-powered homestead, and we raise as much of our food as we can out here, and the students who get to come to and have this homesteader in residence experience are really walking the talk, and I like that. This was the perfect opportunity to blend both my research as a scholar with my lifestyle as a homesteader, and to bring a couple of my students along for the journey.
We're learning about sustainable agriculture, we're taking courses on natural resource management, and then to be able to go out and practice it is very valuable. Definitely has helped mold what I want out of my life, in the future.
Most people just see a bunch of trees that need to be cut down and gotten rid of, and what I see is really an ecosystem of opportunity. And the question becomes is how can you use this wood, how can you use this land to produce things of value, whether it's shelter or fence posts or lumber for building a cabin or firewood for keeping you warm in the winter, or integrating trees and livestock. As I try to get people to think about what a woodland homestead is and can be. On the one hand, we have this renowned forestry school, and then on the other hand, we have this magnificent culinary school. And folks always want to know, why. And part of it is the history of the Adirondacks going back to Paul and Lydia Smith. But part of it is that these two things really belong together. And so when we talk about sustainability, we're talking about food, we're talking about energy systems, we're talking about building materials. And whether you're in forestry or culinary arts, there's an opportunity to incorporate those things.
When I lived in New York City, I was 320 pounds, and that's hard, to believe, but through hiking and getting in touch with my food and just reconnecting to the earth slowly, I became so much healthier, not just physically, but mentally.
I'm always telling my students to put down your iPhone and pick up a shovel. And that's a really, really important lesson.
Practicing what you preach. I mean, you learn all this stuff in school, and it's really nice to do it in practice, figure out, the kinks and things that they don't teach you in books.
The whole thing is about self-sufficiency and the pride that goes with doing something yourself and carving out your own existence.